I'm not quite sure why we decided to do this, but we decided to do it, and yes, I remember now, we thought we'd have a go at Stampede Wrestling. I mean, I've enjoyed doing the WCCW for A Plus Productions, A Plus, and so we thought we'd have a go at Stampede. I've done before Portland, of course, and really enjoyed it, so we said yes, why not? Why not? And we said it twice. Yeah, why not? Well, why not? And then we looked to see what was available, and you see, I'm really at the vagaries of YouTube. So some of those, the stuff I might like, which is I suppose 84, 85, 86, that's when I'd usually start. 84 probably wasn't really available, not in great detail. So we've gone to what is available, and we started on the 1st of January 1988. You can't get much earlier in 1988, can you, folks? And this is the time it's thought when things started to unravel a little for Stampede Wrestling out of Canada, and it does seem that way. It's not, I mean, I've seen older episodes of Stampede when they were in a bigger arena. This seems to be some kind of dinner theatre type place. It's smaller. Ed Whalen's still there. He's your face and voice, isn't he, of Stampede, still there. And early on we've got Jonathan Holliday versus Goldie Rogers. Now, Ed talks almost exclusively about Holliday's good looks, about how he'll be good box office, he's personable. He also tells us he's a good worker. Now, Ed Whalen tells us this several times during this 45 minutes or so. And if you look at WWF at the time, or even NWA, you're not going to get people saying, good worker. That's not the phrase that's generally used. That sounds like pulling the curtain back. To me, it's interesting to hear it, isn't it? Anyway, he's not a good worker. I mean, there's a headlock for ages. We've got to remember this is 1988. So, you're not going to get... I mean, you are arriving into that kind of high-flying situation. Talking of high flyers, Owen Hart is missing. Well, says Ed, not really missing. He's missing from Stampede, but they know where he is. He's in Japan and doing very well. So suddenly we've got a 10-minute mark. I think we keep joining the matches in progress, or progress if you're across the pond. There is a Goldie Rogers punch, and he throws Holliday to the outside. It's rather a low ring, actually. And as I say, Whalen tells he's got box office appeal. Then he hits a backdrop, an elbow drop, and Goldie Rogers gets the pin. Well, why would you do that if you talked up Jonathan Holliday all the way through the match? He's personable, he's a good worker, he's good looking, he's got box... Oh, he's lost. Why would you do that? Bit of an own goal, innit? There's nothing to gain, really, from giving Goldie Rogers, who has been bad-mouthed throughout the fight, the match, there's nothing to gain from giving him that win. It's a bit odd. A bit weird. Anyway, out comes Makhan Singh, who's struck a norm, isn't it? It is, isn't it? I think it is, isn't it? And he's got he doesn't take a breath. He must do about 10 minutes. I mean, it's not a stream of consciousness, but it's a stream of promo. You know, and Ed Whalen talks about his million words. Yeah, he really goes for it. He doesn't draw breath. And Whalen can't, it's not Whalen who's doing the interview, I can't. Maybe somebody could tell me who that is, because I'm not familiar with Stampede at this period. But he doesn't, he doesn't mince his words. He tells it how it is, but he doesn't get many words in, because Makhan Singh's really going for it. Anyway, out comes Bruce Hart. He's got a new injury, and not very much charisma on this little bit of chat. Not great. Then we've got Karachi Vice, who are the tag champs. Now, I remember Karachi Vice. Can't wait to see them. We will see one of the members of the tag team champions later on. In fact, right now. And it's Garfield Ports, who is English. Now, I need to have a look at who this is. I mean, I suppose I could say I can't be bothered, but I should go and have a look. Just a minute. Of course it's Scott McGee. Of course it is. Scott McGee. Yeah. Anyway, he's got an arrogance about him, which is not very well liked in Stampede Wrestling, and he's fighting Phil LaFleur. And we're in at the 10-minute mark, so I mean they've been going a while. It doesn't look like anything's really happened very much. They don't appear to be tired and sweaty or anything like that. There is a moment when LaFleur stands up with Ports on his back and dumps him, then throws him off the top. There's a single kick, which is called a drop kick by Ed Whalen. It's not a drop kick, Ed. It's just a one-legged kick. A drop kick's got the two legs. Remember that? Remember that? Two legs. Yeah. And then very nicely to see a victory roll for a long 2 count on Garfield Ports. But then Ports gets the low blow behind the ref's back and a pile driver for the pin. And it wasn't bad, actually. Now, Ports is interviewed. He talks about Hart being injured. He talks about Owen Hart being away, and he also would like to have a match with Brian Pillman. Now Pillman is about to go to WCW, isn't he? He's about to leave along with someone else we'll see in a bit. But he's about to go, isn't he? Maybe he's not around because he's already gone. I don't think he has, not at the beginning of... No, has he already gone? I can't be bothered to look it up, but maybe somebody can tell me. I've already looked one thing up, I'm not going to look another thing up. So there you go. Now, Henry Morrow and Strangler Steve DeSalvo, who I think I remember as Steve Strong in Stampede. I think I remember him perhaps segueing into Steve Strong. And Bad News Allen, who'll soon be going to the WWF, won't he, as Bad News Brown? Or, as my friend Dave used to call him, Bad News Brown Trousers. I'll always remember that. But yeah, I liked him. I liked him in WWF. Apart from when he couldn't remember his lines that time. They said, listen, you two-legged rat. Yeah, I remember that. He really went for it. What can I say? Rat. That's it. Anyway, he's very popular, isn't he? Lots of comings and goings for him in Stampede. And he is facing, or they are facing, Biff Wellington, very popular, Rick Bronski, and Ito. We join it at 5 minutes, and nothing's really happened, I don't think. You've got Bronski who slams Allen. Morrow holds salvo for Allen to smack him. Sorry, it doesn't hold salvo. He holds Allen so that salvo can smack him. That's what I'm talking about. No, he can't hold salvo. He must have held Bronski, that's right. Getting them mixed up. It's the first time I've seen it at this period. First time. Anyway, Allen's unhappy with Steve DeSalvo. Shakes his hand or kind of, says we're okay together. DeSalvo is he's really staring at him outside the ring. They've got Biff Wellington, gets some slams and a drop kick. Crowd love him. Runs into an Allen knee, which was it really clocked him. It really hit him. Morrow then, he takes a flyer to splash Biff Wellington. Wellington, not Willington, Steve, Wellington. He got some wicked air there. DeSalvo takes the glory by saying, out you go, I'll get the pin, with a sort of reverse torture rack. It's on the shoulder, as opposed to across both shoulders. And then, while they're chatting, Bad News Allen is, of course, the first one to be talked to, because he is the biggest name of the three of them in Stampede, and DeSalvo just breaks in and says, I'll chat, and they both attack him. And then the Mongolian comes in, don't know who he is, to help DeSalvo, but he gets beaten down as well. So very quickly, that threesome has broken up, do you not think? And here is your main event. It's the still hated Makan Singh versus the now venerated and liked Jason the Terrible, who of course is doing the Jason Voorhees type character with a big white, dungaree suit thing. Not dungarees, an all-over suit. And the mask and all that. The mask comes off at one point. It does. We can't see it because he's got his back to the camera, but he just half scrabbled to put it back on. Yeah. None of this is ideal, None of this is ideal. You've got Honey, and I think he's called Abu Weasel. He's playing the same kind of look, petrochemical money, that kind of thing. That kind of manager role. I think he's called Abu Weasel. He's in Makan Singh's corner, of course, they both are. And Honey is his kind of valet, friend, whatever you want to call them. There is a McCann Singh bear hug, and we've got the hand drops once, hand drops twice. The third time it stays up, folks. Then Singh throws her over the top. Jason the Terrible doesn't get very much offense here, which is a bit of a shame considering he's a fan favourite. There is a McCann Singh splash and a kick out. Then the mask comes off. Yeah, McCann Singh pulls him out of the ring. Get this. He then throws him into the post, or rather, he makes to throw him into the post. Jason the Terrible, it's called Jason the Terrible, he is, isn't he? He reverses it, throws McCann Singh into the post, and McCann Singh is DQ'd for being thrown into the post. Right, even Ed Whalen, who is doing the kind of, hey folks, stuff all the way through, is saying, a DQ for running into the post? I've never heard of that before. No, and neither have I. And it's terrible. It's terrible. You can't, it wasn't even as if he did it himself. He went to throw Jason into the ring post, got reversed into it himself. If anyone is going to get DQ'd, it should be the fan favourite, Jason, shouldn't it? It's really confusing. As they say, the ref has lost control of this. Keep saying it throughout. They just know what's going on. They keep saying that throughout the episode. It's really rather poor, and hopefully it will get better over the year. But as people say, this is the beginning of the wind down, the Stampede. And I suppose I started watching it with that thought in mind, and that then was endorsed by the stuff I saw. So it's nice to know that you've got the right thoughts. It's really not very good. And I'm looking forward to seeing the next week's episode, because really, it can't be worse than that. Can it? Ta-ta.